What a cuckold is you've got like the biological definition, which is where like I think a cuckoo raises like another bird's child or some shit. And then some people will extend that over to like people, where if you raise another man's child, you're quote unquote a cuck. But the now cuck has expanded in the red pill community to mean anybody in an open relationship is a cuck. That's not really what a cuck is. But I mean, if it makes you feel better to use the word, I mean, go off, sis.
I look all the Fresh and Fit stuff. I watch the Sneeko stuff.
I've never heard Destiny refer to himself as a cuck. For in these communities, if you're in any kind of open relationship on the girl's end, to them they're a cuck. It's basically, to red pillars, cuck is what progressives use the word fascist or racist for. So anybody they don't like is a fascist or racist. Anything that these guys don't like is like a cuck. Or anybody whose girl is, maybe it's even if they've ever anybody who knows, in a way you're a cuck or whatever. But yeah.
All that stuff, I'm well aware.
I thought it was people like watching their partner get traditionally, a cuckold is generally somebody that likes watching their partner get and there's usually an aspect or an element of humiliation to it that makes the sexual fetish work. That's what cuckolding means, or cuck queening if it's on the girl's end, as traditional as a sexual fetish. But for these guys, cuck is just a word that they can use to feel better about attacking anybody in like an open relationship.
With anything, again, this is a premiere. This is this is not a live broadcast. This is just me and you today. I understand. I saw this stuff. So you're not surprising me with anything. I get it. Oh, don't you know he's a cuck? Yeah, I know he's a cuck. Don't you know about his wife? Yes, I know about his fiance. Oh, open marriage? Yeah, I got it. Stop. Okay. Whatever your opinion is, I want to focus on what he's getting into right here.
Nice.
So this is not a flame or an attack on Destiny, but I do want to, I think it would be educational to understand how I come to the conclusions I do in this video. So let's get started here.
All right. For women, I see a lot.
Someone in chat asked what hot wifing is. I think hot wifing, has a lot of overlay with cucking, but I think, doesn't hot wifing more specifically refer to like loaning your wife to guy friends you have? I think is what hot wifing is, but I don't know. There's like, bro, it's like, when you get into like the crazy sexual fetishes, it's like electronic music. There's like 750 trillion different subgenres. I'm not gonna be able to tell you what every single one is. Go fucking Urban Dictionary that shit. Okay.
A lot of loneliness on the horizon.
Okay, so by the way, he's criticizing a clip. I want to say this was February or March of this year.
And I don't say that to be like an asshole. I say that as sort of a warning. I think a lot, like whenever a guy says, oh, you're going to be lonely and cat lady and you're going to have box wine and whatever, like, and you're going to be a spinster is basically what they're saying. And it sounds like revenge. It sounds like guys are either too happy or they're too pissed off or too sad about like the state of women. I just go down the nuts and bolts. And I outline this actually in book 4 as well. There is a study by Morgan Stanley Financial. They did you can go find it too. It's online. It's called The Rise of the She Economy. And in that sort of research, they postulate that by 2030, women between the ages of 25 and 44, something like 52%. I hope I'm getting my numbers right. Something like 45 to 52%.
It's over half.
Yeah,
it is going to be over half
of women of marriageable age will be single for the rest of their lives. They will not reproduce unless they get unless they get artificial insemination, but they will be unmarried and childless during those ages by 2030, which is like a very, very steep incline. In fact, they are so certain of this that they did this research on Morgan Stanley so their investors would know what to invest in the coming decade.
Wow.
So they're invest in box wine, right? Invest in cat toys.
What are we on right now? What are we reacting to?
It's not a joke, guys, when we say this.
In oven freezing, in reproductive technology.
And pet dogs.
Yeah, cats, dogs, whatever. What is going to be hot in the future, and this is what you can expect, and so this is what you should put your money into. So if we're already making predictions of where we should put our money, I think we need to look at why this is the way it is. Now, if you go and you follow the logic of Bloomberg or Morgan Stanley, Forbes, whatever, they will say this is a great success. This is a glowing, great progress of humanity. Well, finally, women are independent. Whenever you hear women say, like we heard last night from the 20-year-old girl, I want to give up my independence, right? Okay, I wanted to say this, but I didn't. Independent of what? Independent, like if you're independent of something, what were you dependent on that you're now independent of?
Right.
And whenever we hear this, remember I was telling you about how we've been hearing the same jingo, the same lingo from feminists for a long time. That's one of them. I want to be a strong, independent woman. Okay, independent of what? Independent of men. That's what it is. And they've already achieved that. There's more women in college right now. They're making more money now. Women control way more money than men do. Yeah. So when you're talking about like the bullshit of the gender pay wage.
Hold on, real quick. Sorry, before I permaban you from chat. The facts are with the red pill. That's why Desi won't debate Rollo. I'll talk to the Rollo dude anytime. I got 8,000 viewers. If he wants to hop on, we could chat. Like, I'll do it anytime. I think I've tried to reach out to him before, or I think I tweeted at him or something, but he never responded. But if he ever wants to talk, that's fine. He's the one premiering videos, reacting to a reaction from me, okay? If he wants to chat, I'm always open to talk. I'm streaming for probably 5 or 6 more hours a day.
Gap, whatever it is. It's not endemic sexism. If there's any gap, there's a gap in spending. There's a gap in control and authority over that spending. Women are the #1 consumers in Western societies.
He was in his own comment section making up excuses not to debate you? Wait, no shot would he do that. Not a red pillar. Wait, can you link that? I can do it. Rollo said that he won't debate someone that's not familiar with his work.
It is. But they also control, and again, another stat in the book is over the course of a family's history, women will control 90% of that family's wealth. Yep. That's car expenditures, that's college, that's we're going to go on vacation, we're going to buy this TV set.
Okay, I mean, like, oh God, I had to listen to myself. Sure, maybe, but all of this is like presented in like kind of a weird way. Like if the woman is the one that, and I think this is generally true, women are generally the ones that do the home shopping, the shopping. Yeah. So, I mean, like in a way, they kind of quote unquote control the wealth, but it's a little bit misleading. They're not the ones earning the money, and they're shopping to like pay for the family, right? It's not like women are getting all the like 80-90% of the wealth and then buying like Gucci bags. I mean, I guess maybe some are, but
this kind of stuff.
Okay, that's fundamentally false. I've got stats here. I'll throw up. Actually, I always put this one up, and it's too. Well, I'll start with this one. Okay, so actually, I'm pulling out real quick.
I thought he was gonna pull up a study, and he pulls up a fucking infographic. But okay, dude, let's see what we got.
Later. So here it is. I don't know if you guys can see that. I've got another one I'll have to blow up a little bit here too, but I'll just read this one out to you. This is pretty easy. Economics of feminism. Women control 51% of all personal wealth in the United States.
What does that mean? Control all. Okay, let's see if we can do. Let's do some real reading. Okay. All right. What are we talking about here? The truth is, women wield a huge amount of influence over the economy. Okay. What are we looking for? Okay, this is source 4 is the footnote. So let's scroll down and see what we're talking about here. Women, 51% wealth. I don't know what the kind of source this is. It's just linking a website from 2020. Okay. It's 2020, women are in charge of more than half the personal wealth in the United States, but still only make a fraction of the financial advisors. Oh, this is talking about the balance between who's a financial advisor, or the gender disparity in who financial advisors are, I guess. I don't know what this website is. Okay. This needs to change according to Faisa Stafford, president. Oh, also, yeah, to be clear, in the video that I was responding to, he said 90%, also not 51%.
Women will control 90% of that family's wealth.
But that's fine. Even 51%, I don't think is right. I don't think they're earning 51% of the money. I don't think that's true either. I'm just trying to figure out what they mean by control wealth. Women control 51% of the personal wealth in the U.S., an estimated $22 trillion worth, she said, citing research by New York Life Investment Management. That number is expected to jump 30% to nearly 29 trillion. 96% of women have a primary or shared responsibility for family financial decisions. At the same time, women tend to want other women as their financial advisors. Firms have multiple mindsets. Individual firms. Okay. New York Life. Okay. 51% women. Well, can we find this study? What the f is this? Holy shit. Okay. Personal wealth in the U.S. control by women, 51%. BMO Wealth Report. Okay, BMO Wealth Report, 51% women